Hello to my favorite caffeinated, medicated, and never hydrated besties. It's your favorite nurse, Nurse John, and welcome back to your favorite therapy podcast. I beg your pardon. How are you doing, bestie? How is life going? How's work? How's everything? I hope everything is going well, and if it's not, remember, bestie, every single day is a new beginning for you. And it's okay. We all have a different path in life. If you are not where you want to be in life, remember, your path is coming. Your success is coming. Your shining moment is coming. Just always manifest, manifest, manifest. How are you, bestie? Well, let me tell you that last week I was in Vermont to enjoy fall, and it's so beautiful. Vermont is one of those places that you should come visit if you want to experience the real fall season. Because Vermont is very country, so you just see tree, lakes, animals, and small villages. So there's not a lot of like buildings, or it's not busy. So it's more calm, peaceful, and you can really enjoy your pumpkin spice latte. I'm kidding. But yes, it was fun. Vermont is beautiful. I spent some time in Stowe, Vermont, which is a little beautiful city. And it's just giving me that Riverdale kind of vibe because, again, it's really small. There's like a few cafes in it, which is so aesthetic. And at the same time, I was able to visit Ben & Jerry factory. This is my second time visiting the Ben & Jerry factory. But again, that's where it originated in Vermont. And I'm telling you right now, the ice cream are super good. I have tried so many of them and I can't stop myself. And also they have the graveyard of like the flavors they discontinued, and it's so cute and it's fun. It's Halloweeny, you know what I mean? But it's so beautiful. And also I was able to go to Burlington, Vermont, where I shop anyways for Trader Joe's and Target, because that's the closest Trader Joe and Target that I could ever visit. It's so beautiful. Anyways, bestie, before we head on, please do me a favor. If you're listening to this right now, make sure you download this episode and all other episodes, and make sure you follow our podcast on Spotify and Apple. Turn on notification and make sure that you leave us a 5-star review. This will really help our podcast to always be in the chart so that other people can listen to it. Not just healthcare worker, not just you, my bestie, but every other people. And also, if you ever finish listening to this, take a screenshot, tag me on Instagram so that I can reply to you and I can repost your story. Okay? Sounds good? Yes. And also, if you're ever wondering what kind of scrub I wear on my videos, when I'm in the hospital, when I'm teaching, it's called Gardemalade. Gardemalade, which just means nurse in French. And actually, they just released last month 2 new colors. It's called Quiet Gray and my favorite, Dusty Purple. And you can find it on their store in www.gardemalade.cr.com, and you can use my code NurseJohnGM, NurseJohnGM on checkout so that you get a discount. Yep, that's my favorite scrub company because they're so comfy, they're so stretchy, they're so comfy, and they make me feel good wearing them. They're so like stylish because again, we used to wear like that oversized scrubs that the hospital provide you, but in our hospital, you're not really obligated to wear the hospital scrub. So meaning that you can wear whatever color you want, whatever style you want, as long as it's a scrub. And Gardemalade is my only scrubs that I wear. So you can check them out. Okay. And also, I don't know if you're seeing the hoodie I'm wearing right now, but it's part of my merch. And also the Stanley Dupe Cup, which says caffeinated, medicated, and dehydrated. So, this is our motto: caffeinated, medicated, and dehydrated. But, you got to stay hydrated. So that's why you have to get this Stanley Dupe Cup, which you can find in www.nursejohn.com. And also this shirt that says, if you're reading this, thank you for existing. Isn't this the cutest little thing? You could literally be wearing this, walk around in public, and when someone reads this, you just made someone's day better. It looks like you just told them like, thank you for existing and for breathing and for being here. Isn't that cute? And in the back it says you matter, you are loved, you can take up space, all that stuff, and it's super cute. And you can find them again in www.nursejohn.com. All right, bestie, before we head on to this episode, I want to give a trigger warning because this episode contains material of highly sensitive nature that includes suicide and abuse. This may be triggering for some individuals who have experienced PTSD or have experienced this or going through this. So please opt out if this is way too sensitive for you right now, or if you cannot carry this, you can always go back to this episode or not listen to it. But I have to talk about this topic because this is very, very important. This is all about Tristan Kate Smith, a nurse who have ended her life because of our healthcare system. So guys, take a deep breath. Before listening to this, make sure you're either with someone or you are in a very good mental and emotional situation to be listening to this, because this is very heavy topic. And also, again, before we continue, I just want to give a little prayer for our sister, Tristan Kate Smith, so that she can rest in peace. And if you're not the religious type or not someone who prays, that's totally fine. But for anyone who's listening to this and who can pray and wants to pray with me, join me for a minute of silence and let's pray for her soul. In the name of the Father, the Son, the Holy Spirit. In your hands, O Lord, we humbly entrust our sister Tristan Kate Smith in this life you embrace them with your tender love. Deliver them now from every evil and bid them eternal rest. The old order has passed away. Welcome them into paradise, where there will be no sorrow, no weeping, or no pain, but fullness of peace and joy with your Son and the Holy Spirit forever and ever. Amen. All right, you guys. Again, this is a very heavy topic, but I highly believe that we have to talk about this because last week, as I was scrolling through my Instagram DM, many of you have reached to me and sent me a newspaper letter or almost like an article, which was something that Tristan Kate Smith, the nurse who ended her life, wrote and was found by her husband. Correct me if I'm wrong. And now it's circulating the internet because it's all about how she felt before she took her life away. And you would not believe it because her abuser was not one person. It's a system. It's the system that we all are part of. And I want to talk about this and give this special episode just for her so that we can give her the voice she wanted and she needed when she was living. The voice that we all need. Because also I think a lot of us can relate, a lot of us can learn from this, and a lot of us can be aware of what really is happening and if it's really happening to us. And right now, you guys, I'm going to be reading the letter that she wrote. And again, if this is way too much for you to handle right now, you don't have to listen to it. If you want to listen to it, make sure you are with someone. And if you are in this situation, please ask for help. On Monday, August 7, 2023, our beautiful girl Tristan Kate Smith ended her life. Tristan was 28 years old and the youngest of 2 brothers and 3 sisters. She was a daughter. She was an aunt. She was a friend. She was a nurse. Tristan was brave and beautiful and smart. She fought depression for a long time. With regret-filled hindsight, we can now see the signs for what they were. She never sought professional help, but her home was filled with evidence that she'd been trying to help herself. Her beloved dog Calypso and cat Sphinx wanted for nothing. Tristan spent her time and energy with them. We found more dog enrichment toys and contraption than a single pet store sells. She had written and posted positive affirmation and mantras throughout her house. She displayed photos of herself with her friends, families, and pets. She had reached out to friends. She had reached out to family. She tried so hard to stay alive, but none of it was enough to stop the darkness. You're reading this now because Tristan's story needs to be told. We need to take action. Our nation's healthcare system is broken. And it broke our girl. Her passion for nursing had turned into a nightmare. Tristan was in trouble. Nurses is in trouble. Female nurses commit suicide at more than twice the rate of female in the general population. We must do better. Call or email your congresspeople. Tell them we can do better. Reach out to your friends in nursing and offer to listen. Help them get the help they all need. The following is a letter we discovered on Tristan Kate's laptop that she wrote in March of 2023. It is titled, A Letter to My Abuser. Ever since I was young, I expressed interest in healthcare and becoming a nurse. So I began my study. Sorry guys, I'm shaking. This is a lot to take in. If you're feeling the same way right now, like I do, again, take a deep breath. Know that you can always go back to this episode. But again, if it's way too heavy for you, make sure you have someone with you. Make sure you talk to someone or you stop listening to this because it's really heavy and it can trigger a lot of people's past traumas. Let me just repeat. A letter to my abuser. Ever since I was young, I expressed interest in healthcare and becoming a nurse, so I began my study. I gave my heart, my body, and my mind to you, dedicated long hours and days, and gave you all my all. I have cried with patients, with their families, and for them, I held their hands and they held mine. As I move forward in my nursing career, my patients and their families have been there for me, supported me, and reminded me why I do what I do. I thought that was enough. This would be all I needed to carry me through my career. I told you I would be there through the good and the bad. But you have taken my heart and slowly crushed the goodness it had. You love bombed me with affection and you told me I was going into a career that matters. I could make a difference. You made me feel comfortable, and despite the rumors of your abusive past, rumors I did not want to believe, the compliments, the pizzas, the thank you letters gradually had less meaning to me, though the staff I worked beside began to go away. In your eyes, this staff were unnecessary, but it came at a high cost for the advertised quality care provided to our patient by those of us who were left. You asked my colleague and me what we needed to help patients and improve satisfaction scores. And we told you the truth, but then you sent us to online courses that taught us to just smile more and be friendlier to the patients. That's when I began to understand your true cruelty and manipulation. I remember the first time I heard about nurses getting hit. I remember that you asked them what they'd done or didn't do to prevent it from happening. Don't protect yourself by fighting back, you said. Just lay with your hands over your head and wait until security comes. You created an environment of fear and blame a place we already felt unsafe. You blame us for things out of our control. You criminally charge my colleagues for things that happen as a direct result of your own actions. The law doesn't protect us, and neither do you. I no longer feel like you care about me or the people you say you serve. I sit at my front desk just waiting for someone to walk in off the street and shoot my patients and me. You do not care about keeping us protected. You haven't provided even the slightest amount of security to keep us safe. You use and exploit us to line your pockets, using the common citizens' money for overpriced healthcare. You are a narcissist. I can see you for what you really are. You say you care, but you ignore us while we beg on our hands and knees. You tell us we do so much and that we put up with so much. But when we dare to think we are finally going to get the love and the support we deserve, we get a pizza party and a free pen for the healthcare heroes. I so desperately want to continue to help people, but I cannot stay in this abusive relationship. Each day, you ask me to do more with less. You beat me to the point that my body and my mind are black, bruised, and bleeding out. I am only sorry to my patient and my colleagues. You deserve so much better, but my abusive partner is relentless. If I stay, I will lose my sanity and possibly my life forever. Okay, guys, let's take a minute again of just silence. Okay. First of all, I just want to say to the family of Tristan Kate Smith, to the people who love her, I am so sorry for your loss. And it must be so hard for you guys right now dealing with this. And to a lot of us nurses and healthcare workers, empathize and sincerely feel for you guys. And it must be so hard right now, but we're going to keep her on our prayers and may she rest in peace. All right, guys, let's talk about it. It's really just so hard to be reading that and listening to it because I think at some level we can all relate to it. What she wrote is what a lot of us is meaning to say, what a lot of us is feeling at this moment. Hundreds of nurses are on strike everywhere in the world, in the US, in Canada, and in different countries. And again, we're doing all of this not because we just want to do it, but because we care about our patients' safety, our safety, and equality for us, and respect that we never get, the respect that we deserve as healthcare professional. And it's just so sad that some of our sister and brothers are going through so much right now, mentally, emotionally, and physically, because of how our healthcare system is treating us. And if there are other people out there who are working in healthcare and who are happy with their job and where they are, I'm happy for you. I'm cheering for you. And I just want to recognize that not everyone has that luxury, that their employer actually cares about them, that the job they're going through every single day makes them happy and care about them and respect them, and they are treated right. Because I can tell you right now, there's more people who are not treated right, who are not respected, who are unsafe than those who have the luxury of a good employer and a good job. And not because, again, you're not experiencing something someone else has experienced doesn't mean that their experience is not valid. The first thing that everyone should do is recognize that we should empathize, we should help, we should offer to listen to those people who are in need, to those people who are suffering, to those people who needs help. Because there are people out there who exist who tells you it's not that bad or it's okay, you make it so dramatic. No, people don't spend their time on things that don't matter. Nurses and other healthcare workers don't just go off their day and decide that they're going to strike for the whole day, stand there, shout, scream for a better pay, for safety, for nothing. So many nurses right now are on strike. RWJ, Kaiser, and so many other hospital out there who are on strike because they're not getting what they deserve, the bare minimum, not even the bare minimum for some people. And a lot of these nurses who are on strike have been on strike for almost a month, 2 months, and for so long. And they have to do this to be safe, to ask for help. Because if they just go to work every single day and not complain and suck it up, it will all just flow. It will just continue. It would not stop. Like somebody had to step their foot and really get out there and get other people to do something. So if you're stuck right now in that very situation of not complaining, of being scared to go out there and ask for what you deserve, for respect, for safety, don't be, bestie, because you deserve so much more. Like this job, you are so replaceable by your employer, by this hospital, by this government. The second you put that resignation letter, you are already replaced by someone. But just like that too, you can replace your job anytime because you are indeed, you are needed everywhere. So why suffer in a job that doesn't care about you? Why suffer every day and suck it up every single day if you can just change your job and keep doing it? Because what I realized too is that when I was working, and again, like my situation, I wouldn't consider it bad. Like I wasn't, how am I going to put this word? I wasn't as abused as a lot of other nurses in the United States and in Canada. Mine was just part of the bad. But the thing is, what I'm trying to say here is that I push myself to the limit for this job, that I give so much of me, so much of my time, so much of my energy for a job that doesn't really care about me. Those mental health poster, landline, hotline for help that they're posting in your unit for you to ask for help, that's all that they can do. They will not put money for your mental health or for your well-being. So why keep a job that won't do that for you? And a lot of us are going through mental illness, and Tristan was probably going through mental illness. But you know what triggered it and what made it worse? The work, the job that she's into, nursing. And as mentioned in there, she did not ask for professional help because probably she was trying her best to figure it out. And again, some people would say if she really needed help, then she should have went to a professional to get that help. But what do you know about someone's life? What do you know about someone's financial situation? Maybe she cannot afford it. Maybe she was too stuck in her job. She doesn't want to call off sick because her job made her feel that way. Her job made her feel guilty for calling in sick, for asking for help or anything like that, because there are a job who does that right now. And a lot of other nurses are going through it. What do you know about her life? It's just, for me, it pains me and it irritates me that some nurses think that you're so young, so why are you already burnt out? You have the most energy, and I was in that age. But listen, what people are going through right now compared to what they're going through before is not the same. Our problems are not the same. 2023 problem compared to 1970, 1960, 1990s problem of the healthcare system got worse. So this new generation of nurses who have been in the workforce for 1 year, 2 year, 3 year are able to recognize the problem that got worse, the things that was normalized because we didn't do anything about it. The overtime shifts, the 16 hours of shift, 24 hours of shifts, 18 patient, 20 patient, this was all normalized from back then. So now new nurses have to deal with this because this was normalized by our healthcare system, by some of us, because we were okay with it from the very beginning. We did not complain to it. We were fooled and made believe that as a nurse, you should be flexible. You should be able to multitask. You should be able to prioritize. You should be able to handle this because you have this much degree and knowledge and study, so you should be able to do this. And sure, some of us have brought up a concern of, like, let's say 8 patient is too much or 20 patient is too much, but we did not really bring focus into it. But now, don't you realize that there are more nurses on strike now compared to before? Because it's even worse now. So you cannot blame the new fresh nurses who have been in the workforce for 1 or 2 years and they're already burned out because you don't know the struggle. And I just don't like that, because there are nurses out there who would tell you, you are so young. Why are you burnt out? Because of our crumbling healthcare system that makes us feel that way. A healthcare system who doesn't care about the people who are helping the community. And the thing is, we're okay with it. And that's the bad part, that we just take it in, that we just suck it up like it's okay. And then we complain to our families, we complain to ourselves, we just push it away. And then we develop these problems within ourselves, mental illness, all of these things. That's why when I started my platform in social media, I was like, I am not going to be the nurses who show you all the things that you should be thankful for that you're doing as a nurse. Because there are other influencer or nurses content creator who does that already. But we need the truth to what really is happening right now in nursing. That nurses go home and the first thing they do is drink wine. Why do you think nurses drink wine? Because they want to numb their feelings. They want to take the stress away. They just want to pass out so that they don't have to stress about or think about what just happened the whole day. Why do you think nurses, when they got off from their shift, they order the greasiest, the most shittiest fast food so they can reward themselves, so that they can feel better after that shift? And that's the reality. We don't freaking go home and eat salad and go to the gym after, because most of the nurses, let me tell you right now, they're just not nurses. They're probably the primary caregiver for a family member. They're a mom. They're a sister. They're a brother. They have other responsibilities in life. And the thing is, we all love nursing. And again, the problem is not the profession. The profession, we love it. Again, we would not go to an excruciating 3, 4, 5, I don't know how many years of nursing studies you did, but you would not go through that bullshit if you didn't want to do this, if you didn't care for someone, if you're not passionate. You love this. You love being a nurse. But what we don't love is the treatment we're getting, the everyday thing we have to see, that we have to deal with. We start hating the job that we love because of the environment that we're put in. I love this comment from a video in YouTube that it's not that we don't have enough nurses. We have millions of nurses. There's millions of nursing students graduating and being made and wanting to be one. We just don't have enough nurses who wants to deal with this bullshit, this healthcare system. And a lot of us are just tired of it. We're shifting from another direction in life. We're trying to find another profession, another thing to do so that we don't have to do nursing. And you cannot blame them. It's hard to come to a job where they see you as a number and not a human being. Or actually, they see you as a superhero. Someone who has superpower to take it all in, that it's okay, that they're gonna be great, that they should be thankful that they're saving lives, that they're making a difference. We know that. That's why we wanted to become a nurse, because we wanted to make a difference, because we want to be part of someone's healing. But we don't need that. We don't need positive affirmation from the healthcare system. Take that bullshit with you. What we need is help. What we need is a safe staffing, a safe environment to work, a fair pay. This is what we need. We need support so that when we had to deal with death, trauma, different events, we can decompress. Not just you telling us, good job. We don't need a pat in the back. We don't need a clap. We don't need that bullshit. We can give that to ourselves. What we need is the direct help. We don't need your poster of like, we care about you. Here's a landline to call if you're ever going through something. No, we don't care about that. Take it with you. Eat it. We need you to help us get what we need, what we deserve. Because all of us give so much for this job because we care for it so much, but you take advantage of us. CEOs, the hospital, the system. You take so much from us and gives us so less. And if you're listening right now, bestie, I don't want you to go through what Tristan went through. And if you're going through it right now, bestie, ask for help. You need help. And leave that fucking toxic job. You don't need it. You need to prioritize yourself right now. A lot of you guys, you need to be gentle, to care for your own self before this job. You are more than this job. This job doesn't define you. And I know not all of us has the luxury to just quit the job. But again, if you're a nurse, if you're a healthcare worker, you are needed everywhere. You can apply anywhere you want. It's not like one of those jobs where you have to wait for 4 months, 6 months, 7. You are needed every single day. We don't have enough staff in all departments, in all professions in healthcare. We don't have enough of that. So you are needed. So why are you sticking in the job that doesn't care about you? Because of the pay you're getting? Because of the seniority you have? And you're sucking it up each and every day just to do that. Ask yourself, are you happy going to this job every day? Are you happy waking up that you have to come to this job? Because if the answer is no, then why keep it? Why force yourself? I know we all are struggling financially, and so am I, but I had to step my foot down. I stepped my foot down last year, December, because finally I realized that I need help. That I should be prioritizing my mental, my physical, my emotional health. Because as much as I love my patients, their family, the job, nursing, I don't have anything to give to them. Because the whole healthcare system is just taking advantage of me. And when the time comes, when I needed help, when I am going through something, when finally healthcare got into me and it brought me burnout, a mental illness, they questioned me. They sent me a doctor to confirm if actually what my doctor diagnosed me of is true. Do you hear that? And you probably went through that too. And a lot of you guys are reaching out to me in my Instagram and telling me, John, what am I supposed to do? My employer doesn't believe that I am depressed, that I'm anxious, that I have PTSD, that my back is broken, that my leg is hurting. They don't care about you. They don't care about your mental illness. They don't care if your back is broken. If you're breathing and you can make it to your shift, you are going to go to that shift. And they will make you feel guilty for calling out sick. You just put your coworkers into a lot of shit for calling out sick. They would make you feel guilty for prioritizing yourself. So you gotta do it for yourself, bestie. Because no one else is going to do it. Don't wait for you to be in a dark place for you to do something. Because when it's too late, bestie, they would not even grieve. They would not even cry or think about you when you die. Because you know why? Because they already got someone else in that position. They already filled that position you just left. And you are forgotten. So no matter how much time you give, how much energy, how much compassion you put into the job, that is forgotten once you quit. They would not put a freaking trophy or a statue of you in the unit because you did more overtime or you give so much of yourself. No, you're just one of the employers before, an ex-employer. Do you hear that? That's it. That's who you are. You are not important to them. And again, if you have a perfect employer, a perfect job, congratulations. But there are more sisters and brothers of us who are struggling, who are in need of help. So understand them, help them, help yourself. Because you don't want to be in the situation where Tristan was. She loved her job so much, and I can tell you, she was a fucking great nurse. She'd given so much of her life, so much of her time for her job. But look at that. She wasn't even in the news. This was not even brought anywhere. It had to be posted by a bunch of other nursing creators for it to be shown out there, for it to be out there. One of her sisters who ended her life because of the crumbling healthcare system that we have. And you know what? Her position in the hospital was filled probably 3-4 times already because the other nurses probably quit already. And the times that you've given up for your son, for your daughter, for your husband, for your boyfriend, for your girlfriend, you can never get them back again. You will not get those time back with the people that you love if you've given them up to help in your unit, to take an overtime shift. It's enticing because, oh my God, they're going to pay you double. But bestie, it's not worth your physical, mental, and emotional health to do that. Because you will need to actually spend more to keep being sane. So no matter how much overtime you're taking, you're actually just damaging yourself so that you can repair yourself with the overtime money that you're making. That's all what you're doing. And if you are in a dark place right now because of healthcare, because of what you've experiencing in your job, please ask for help. It's hard to be in a dark place and deal with it alone. But know, bestie, that you are not alone. You have so much people who loves you, so much people who cares about you. Fuck this job. Fuck the system. Fucking love yourself. You need to love you before you can love somebody else. You cannot pour from an empty cup. If your cup is not overflowing with self-love, then you should not be giving anything to anyone. The most important patient is you. You are the most important patient. So take care of yourself. Prioritize yourself. Advocate for yourself. Defend yourself. Do yourself the favor of loving it. And for me, I will keep doing all of this video that shows you the truth about nursing. The truth that we all are going through. No matter how many other people are telling me, John, please, can you please show the positive of nursing? The things that people should be looking forward to when they become a nurse. But why? That is not the case, because when these new nurses come into the workplace, they're faced with the bullshit that we are going through. So why feed them butterflies and fucking unicorns? Why don't you feed them with the bullshit that they have to deal with so they can be prepared? So they're not shocked, they don't develop PTSD, they don't develop trauma and quit after a year and question them. You're only 25-year-old. How come you're already burned out? When I was your age. No, that's because you want to feed them with bullshit. And it's you guys, the nurses, who have been working forever, for so long, that you want to feed this new generation of nurses the bullshit that you had to deal with before. Listen, I'm not generalizing every senior nurses or nurses who have 10, 15, 20 years of experience in nursing, but some of you guys make it seem like because you survived that much of pain and suffering and you suck it all up, that we should be able to do the same. That if we cannot even do that, then we should not be a nurse. That if we complain about the things that we don't see that is normal, that should be done, we just love to complain. You just cannot work this kind of job. I'm so happy though that this new generation of nurses are able to bring their voice out, that they're taking it in social media and everywhere, and they're using their voice to bring in awareness of what really is happening in the nursing world. Because back then, there's none of this. You were given cards to thank you for being the best superhero of the unit. Thank you so much for your service. And they gave you a fucking cookie for your 25 years of service, or a fucking kitchen set, like a knife set, or a basket of fucking goodies that you can probably buy yourself. This new generation of nurses are aware, are not taking the bullshit. This new generation of nurses are the ones who's getting us out of this bullshit. They're not dealing with it. They're quitting after a year, after 2 years, after 6 months. And that's totally fine, because that's what you should be doing if you're not happy in your job, if you don't feel safe, if you are abused, if it's toxic. That's what you should be doing. It's not sucking it all up and take it all in, and that's fine, and it's gonna go away, and everyone's going through it. And if I'm new, I should be sucking it up, because how am I gonna learn? No, the older generation nurses, and again, I'm not generalizing everyone. Some older generation of nurses were doing this. They're sucking it up, that it's okay. And perfect, you survived. It's fine. But don't compare us new generation nurses to your generation and expect us to do the same thing as you did. Because look at where we are right now. Did sucking it up change the system? It didn't. You know what happened? It made it worse, because we're okay with it. We accepted it. We normalize it. We agree with them. So now the abuse is just part of our job. We really need to do better as nurses. Do better in a sense that it's not the same thing as what the hospital is asking you to do. Not you increasing your satisfactory score or quality of care. Do better in a sense that if the job that you're in doesn't make you happy, quit. If you want to call in sick, do it. Don't even second guess it. Don't even question yourself for calling in sick because you want to prioritize yourself. I don't care what the reason is you're calling in sick to, but if you want to do it, do it. Because again, they don't care about you. They would care about you calling in sick. You know why? Because they need you in the floor. But you complain that you're vomiting, you have diarrhea, your back is aching. They don't care about that. They're gonna pat you in the back. Thank you so much for coming in, even though your back hurts. But your back is damaged, and did they do anything about that? Nothing. Save yourself, please. No matter what, if you're a nurse, you're a CNA, you're a social worker, please help yourself. And to all the nurses who are in strike right now for safety, for patients, for fair pay, I'm behind you guys. But please, even after this strike is done, even the agreement is done, if the job that you're in doesn't make you happy, if you're not happy waking up going to this job, quit. Do not wait for your mental health to get worse, your physical health to get worse, your emotional health get damaged for you to do something. Because there are people just like Tristan who have given all of hers and she had to end her life because of that. Listen, this was probably her last straw. And again, this could not be the primary reason why she ended her life. It's a big contributing factor of why she ended up like this, of why she ended her life. And again, if you're suffering from any mental illness, addiction, or anything, and it all happened because of your job, seek help. Don't wait for your hospital to do it for you, because they will never, ever do it for you. Help yourself. Ask for help. You are loved. You matter. You can take up space. Your opinion matters. Your feelings are valid. And again, for our sister Tristan Kate Smith, I hope you rest in peace. And we will keep talking about you and your experience. And I hope this episode give you the voice that you needed. And I am so sorry you went through that. And I can't feel for you right now, because I was such in a dark place too when I was working the job that I love, the job that I was passionate about. And people sees it as just me overreacting. People just sees it as me complaining. People see it as me as just because you're a new grad nurse. Other people see it as you're doing this because you just want to complain. But my experience, my feeling, what I've gone through is valid, and no one can take that away from you. So don't let anyone and healthcare take that away from you. All right, guys. Thank you. Thank you so much for listening to this episode. And if you listened throughout the episode and now you're feeling heavy, please take some time to decompress. Call someone, text someone, ask for help. And I know this might trigger some past experience or traumas and PTSD. And if it did, please know that you're not alone. You are loved. You can take up space. You matter. And call for help. Call 911. Call your suicide hotline. And know that there is help for us. We are here for you. You deserve to exist in this world. You deserve to take up space. You deserve to be happy. And you can have that. Please ask for help. Thank you guys so much for listening to this episode. And I will see you guys next week. I love you. Love you guys so much.